Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of the Switch It podcast, a series where myself and Bailey talk everything football. Today we're joined by a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. My name's Joe. I'm also known as Harry's older brother. I'm going to be joining him on his podcast. Should be fun.
You looking forward to it, yeah?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it all week, Harry.
Yeah.
It's been the highlight. It's been the highlight of my week. So, I haven't thought of anything else other than this. So
I know. You've been telling me how excited you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Bailey, where are we starting?
Yeah, so we'll go over the post-match of the Liverpool Accrington game in the FA Cup today. So, as expected, Liverpool won by a fine margin of 4-0. And it was a pretty slow start, in my opinion. I was at the game today, and it was a stronger squad that started the game than what I predicted at first. So we predicted Kelleher in net, which we got right, and then we put Bradley, Endo, Nello, and Norris, which we only got one of the back four right. So Endo started today, and he got player of the match for Liverpool. He did fantastically. Elliott, Njonny and Morton we went for. Elliott and Morton did start, but it was Dominic Szoboszlai in midfield instead of Trey Njonny.
He came off at 45, Szoboszlai.
Yeah, well, it apparently he was ill this week, so it was a good chance for him to get minutes to ease his way back into it before he plays Forest on Tuesday. Will
he start though against Forest? Jones is rested.
I'd say so because Jones didn't.
There's an 11, right? There's an 11 that could play for Forest. We'll go over later, but there's 11 players that didn't play a minute today.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather Szoboszlai play instead of Jones, as Jones hasn't been too good in the last two games against Spurs and United. But
who played on the left today?
Yeah,
big debut.
It was 16-year-old Rio Ngoma. And he was. It's a tricky one how to pronounce his surname. It's Ngoma. I don't know how to pronounce it too well. But he was fantastic. He played about 70 minutes or so before he came off. And I thought he was brilliant today. He showed no signs of anxiety. He was full of confidence, and he showed the skill that we've seen on all the videos and what everyone's been hyping him up for. I feel like in the future he's definitely going to be someone special, and his own aspirations. He wants to win the Ballon d'Or, and if he keeps on going at this rate, in my opinion,
Ballon d'Or, that's a bit getting a bit ahead of ourselves here. I mean, don't get me wrong, he had a really good performance, but
yeah, he's 16 years old, and to have the target of winning the Ballon d'Or in his career.
Is he actually 16 still?
He's 16, yeah. But he played well.
He's not 17 till August. It's mad.
Yeah.
He's probably getting
having a
pissed
kid
in
on the
field
pitch
at 16. Yeah. Probably flipping, I don't know, just going out with my friends on my bike. No.
I know, yeah. But he definitely...
16 years old.
16.
Yeah, he definitely played beyond his years, though, today. And
crazy.
He did show a really good performance. So, elsewhere up front, we had Chiesa and Danz, who both came off the bench, but it was actually Nunes and Jota who started up front, which was potentially the right move by Slot, just to make sure that we did get that little bit of a goal cushion before the likes of Chiesa and Danz came on. But I would have liked to see Chiesa play the whole game today. I don't know what you think of that, Harry, but
Yeah, he was good when he came on though. He scored a really nice goal.
Yeah,
and he hit the post as well.
And Danz did as well. It all started from him in Dan's goal as well. So
yeah, a lot of the players we put in the our predicted lineup, they came on and they got good minutes. So our predicted lineup was sort of right.
Sort of.
Maybe not with the Kwanzaa prediction.
No, I wasn't.
We didn't think he'd play,
we weren't expecting him to play because he came off ill, in the Spurs game. But yeah, it was a surprise to see him play. But there was a few. We got the majority of the players right who did feature, and and that's the main thing. One thing I do want to go over. One thing I do want to go over quickly is I've won this week's predicted score because I predicted that Liverpool would win by a 4-goal margin, and we did. I predicted 5-1, it was 4-0, but you predicted 4-1, so I think I'm the winner there, Harry.
It's debatable. I mean, you're both pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. You can have it. Fine, you can have it. You can have it.
I'll take it.
But to be fair, I think I was closer to the Spurs prediction because I actually predicted Spurs to score a goal.
Yeah, I think that's 1-1.
So it's 1-1. It's
1-1 in the predictions. So shall we?
Should we have a forfeit for? Wait. Should we have a forfeit for who loses the predictions?
It depends what they are.
Yeah. You know what? Next episode.
What is the forfeit?
I mean, we could decide now, or we could have it dropped for next episode.
Drop for next
episode. Or a row of shots or something.
I was going to say our special guest can decide the forfeit.
Yeah.
Nothing more, Harry.
Considering for it's a whole half of a season, like the rest of the season, and the forfeit will be till the end of May. Like, it could be a pretty big forfeit.
It'd have to be absolutely, something along the lines of taking your top off and then running down a strip or something, and then shouting something really outrageous and then jumping into some really cold water or something.
You know, that's actually a really good idea for the last episode of this series. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just send it. Just send it, guys. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Right. A player that I want to talk about actually in that game, who I didn't think would start. I thought he was going to be saved for Forest, but it looks like a different striker might be saved for Forest. But Jota was really good.
Yeah,
in that game.
I thought he was brilliant today. There was a couple of times when he was robbed off the ball a little bit, but I think he was playing about a little bit at times. But he definitely showed his composure and his class when he received the ball off Nunes to score Liverpool's opener today. And yeah, it was a tap-in, but it did take a lot of control to redirect the ball into the net, and he got his name on the score sheet, which was the main thing today. And you'd expect that off him being named in a side against a team like Accrington Stanley. So full credit to him, and I'd like to see him feature against Forest, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about the game, Joe? Because we were watching it together. It was pretty chill watch. Really.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was feeling, to be honest. I mean, it wasn't like watching a Premier League game where you're constantly on your feet, just biting your thumbs and whatnot. Anything could happen right now. It was more no disrespect to Accrington, but basically they are a League 2 team, and Liverpool are at the minute, I'd say. Some people may disagree, but I think a lot of people will agree that at the minute we are playing the world's best club in the whole of Europe and the entire world. So that against a League 2 team, I'm not really breaking a sweat, to be honest. I'm quite relaxed about it.
You could tell we were both pretty chill compared to the United or Spurs game.
Especially as the game was going on and we were starting to get our mojo, scoring goals. So I was they're not coming by. It's just a matter of how many goals we were gonna score. You know, I was can we get 3? Can we get 4? And it's can we get 5? Maybe 6? But no, it was good. It was a good game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I would just like to quickly touch as well today on another fixture in the FA Cup that happened at the G-Tech Community Stadium, and that was the Brentford result. They got beat by Plymouth Argyle 1-0 today, and they fielded quite a strong Brentford side. Thomas Frank did anyway. And the only reason I'd like to touch on this is because Liverpool actually travel to the G-Tech Community in a week from today. And if a team like Plymouth is going there and beating a near enough full-strength Brentford team, which did include the likes of Wissa and Buemo, they came on in the second half, and also Fabio Carvalho, obviously ex-Liverpool player. it sort of makes me wonder: is this a little blip in Brentford's season, and is this going to be the right time for Liverpool to go to the G-Tech and play Brentford?
I don't really agree with you, to be honest. I don't think it'll change them. I mean, you could even see the lineup they put out. I think they're probably more focused on getting higher in the Premier League than they are about the FA Cup.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll affect them.
I think they definitely.
I don't think it'll change.
I think they've definitely performed well this season as well. They're currently mid-table. They're in 11th, and their current run of form has been pretty okay. But we'll save this for the pre-match analysis for Brentford next week. But it was just a little question that I had, really, because their last 4 games they've been beaten by Nottingham Forest at home. They drew to Brighton away. They lost to Arsenal at home, and then they've just been beaten by Plymouth at home. So they have just had a little bit of a dip after such a good run of form when they were beating the likes of Leicester 4-1. They beat Bournemouth, informed Bournemouth 3-2. So it was just a little thought I had there about the fact that Liverpool travel to London in a week to face Brentford, and they shouldn't be losing to bottom of the Championship Plymouth, really, in an FA Cup game.
Yeah, true. Should we move on to the game that's at the Emirates?
Yeah, we can do, yeah.
United versus Arsenal tomorrow, big game.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyone got any score predictions on that one? Any thoughts?
Arsenal 4, Man United 0. No, I'm joking. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, Man United, everyone knows they've not played the best recently, but then again, they have had an impressive 2-2 draw at Anfield. I don't think many people were expecting that, but then again, I always have my suspicion, I always have this feeling whenever we play Man United, just because of the rivalry between Liverpool, and I always do get a bit nervous. Everyone was really confident before we played United. Oh yeah, we're going to smash them. They're only 14th in the league, losing to loads of really bad teams. But I was just I really don't know. I was a bit nervous because we always seem to fumble against United in some sort of way.
Yeah, I have to agree with Joe there. And for Man United to go to Anfield, which is, it's dubbed as potentially one of the hardest places to go in the Premier League, away especially in this season, to go and get a draw there, that feels more like a loss to Liverpool than a point gained, if you know what I mean. But that point gained is more of a win to Man United. And
it's confidence boost for them.
They came out
Definitely.
the team who were happier in that fixture. Let's say it like that. So, in my opinion as well, I mean, Man United have had time on the training ground this week, as they didn't have an FA Cup game this weekend. So, I'm gonna go bold here.
And that's gonna be a big one as well. Obviously, when you play in the FA Cup, you don't, especially Premier League teams, they don't use their best players, but still, they're gonna have some experienced players that are gonna be a bit, they're gonna be a bit tired and whatnot, a bit fatigued.
Yeah. So solely based on the fact that United didn't have a Carabao Cup game during the midweek this week, and they've had time on the training ground to regather after that Liverpool game, I'm gonna say my prediction for that is going to be 1-1, and then Arsenal are going to win it in extra time.
That's bold.
So I'm gonna go
1-1.
Very, very detailed about when the goals are as well.
I'm gonna go 2-1, but it's gonna be Arsenal. It's gonna be Arsenal in extra time, I think.
Will it take them to extra time?
Yeah.
I've got 2-0 to
Arsenal haven't been great as of recently.
But what I would say is, with Arsenal, I think, so United are coming off a better result. They're going to have more momentum than Arsenal, yeah. But Arsenal had a bit of a shaky start to the season, and then they bounced back. I don't think Arsenal are a different team now under Arteta. I don't think they're a team that would let a game like Newcastle affect them, so it affects them against United. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have a solid performance at the Emirates, and United
I
are
agree with Harry, to be honest. Like, I think although United have got their confidence and whatnot, and their stride, I think Arsenal will still win. Yeah, I'm going to go with 3-1, to be honest.
I definitely think Arsenal are going to win this
3-1's
one.
good.
I think Arsenal are definitely going to win this one, but I don't think it's going to be as easy.
2-0 to Arsenal. 2-0 to Arsenal.
I don't think it's going to be as
They've got the same goal margin, Harry.
I don't think it's going to be as easy as what people think, and I think especially after that Newcastle loss in the cup, they're going to start to be thinking like, I do think they're going to be second guessing themselves in certain areas, and they're in a little bit of an injury crisis because they've got no Bukayo Saka, and they didn't have Havertz, but now Havertz is back. But they're playing the young lad at the back, Lewis Skelly, quite a bit, and he's actually filled in the back line pretty well. But there's a few areas in the Arsenal squad which are weakened a little bit due to injury, which just makes me start to think that United are going to go there, and I think they're not going to win the league. The chances of them winning European.
They're not going to win the league.
Well, that's it. They're not going to win the league or get.
Were you talking about Arsenal or United?
I thought you were mentioning United for a minute. No, I was like, United aren't going to win the league. They'll be looking out to get relegated at this point.
Well, I'm just going through.
No, they're not going to get relegated.
I'm going through all competitions. They're not good. There's nowhere near anywhere near getting Europe this season. I don't think they're going to make. I don't think they're going to make a comeback.
Do you not think they're going to win the Europa League?
I don't think so. To be completely honest,
no. I mean, Europe's extremely competitive. Like a team like United, especially the way they've been playing.
I mean, if you look at United,
I don't think so.
If you look at United's form in the Europa League, they've not even been doing brilliantly in that.
I don't think they've been doing brilliantly in anything, to be honest.
No, and I think there's better teams in the.
They're having a real stinker.
I think there's better teams in the Europa League than Man United as well currently. I think if Spurs got further than United, it wouldn't surprise me.
Spurs are a weird team, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, you could be watching them, you think, this is like world-class football, and then they have other games where you think, is this even like Premier League football?
I know, yeah.
It's just, I don't know, they just weird me out.
Yeah, definitely, and I mean, United.
If Spurs had consistency, then they'd be one of the best teams, not just in England, probably in the world, but.
Yeah, I mean, United sit seventh in the Europa League table currently, and they've got teams ahead of them like Galatasaray, Frankfurt, Lyon, Lazio, and then behind them, just closely behind them, there's Rangers and Tottenham, Ajax, Roma, Porto.
I've got a question for you, Bailey, actually. Who do you think's going to win the Spanish league this season?
Oh, that's a close one.
It's quite tough at the top, isn't it? Yeah, I was looking at it before.
It's close up the top of the Spanish league.
I've not been following the Spanish league, to be honest, so I don't really know.
Well, usually it's just Real.
I have heard that Barcelona have been doing pretty well.
Yeah,
like they're pretty much like they're pretty much top of the title at the minute. Am I right?
Top spot. No, Real have reclaimed top spot. And then it's Atletico second with Barcelona third.
I thought Barca were. You were telling me the other day that Barca were doing well, but
yeah,
they were. But I think it's just been in the past couple of weeks because Barca were definitely top of the start. I remember that they were cruising.
They've slipped to third now, and Atletico have got the chance to go top. With a game in hand on Madrid, they can go point clear if they win their game in hand. But in my opinion, it could be any three of Real Madrid, Atletico or Barcelona. It just depends on who can keep that consistency for the rest of the season. But I mean, it's always going to be hard to beat Real Madrid, in my opinion. So I'm going.
Which one would you want to win, though, guys? Like,
if I wanted it,
I'm going to go for Atletico.
I'd want
because
Atletico,
they're the underdog.
Yeah, it's somewhat different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't be too bothered with Barca, but
yeah.
I'd much rather Atletico or Barca win it.
If I wanted any three of them to win it, it'd be Atletico because it's someone different.
100.
Yeah, obviously.
You
But
see, it's Real Madrid and Barcelona every year, pretty much. I know Atletico won that odd one a couple of years ago, but I mean, I'd rather see Atletico win than Real Madrid or Barcelona. But I think it's going to be hard for Real Madrid to not win the league. If they end up, if they end up extending a bit of a lead at the top, it's going to be hard to catch them. Really, I think.
I mean, Barca didn't win it long ago. They won the 22-3 season, which was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Forest game. I mean, could you not stress about that one, Leicester?
No, I'm not. I'm just chilling, to be honest. I'm definitely not nervous.
You're not nervous about it?
No, 100%. No, not like Forest have been giving us like a run for our money the last, I don't know, half a season. Yeah.
7 wins in a row as well.
7.
Oh my god.
That is
no one scored against them in 5 games as well.
Yeah, they have took everyone by surprise this season.
How many
I don't think
minutes
anyone
is
thought they were
5
gonna do
games?
this
450 plus stoppage. They probably haven't conceded a goal in 500 minutes of football.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It just makes you think how they
right now.
It just makes you think how their second half of the season's going to be if they're playing like this now.
I mean,
Don't even want to think about it, to be honest.
Can you see them dropping off in the next few weeks, or?
I don't know, because it's football, isn't it? And with football, you just never know. But
I know,
when a team gets momentum, that's it. Like, it's hard to break.
I mean, you have to look.
After
a few
fixture
games.
list.
You have to look at the likes
Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Newcastle
are decent, to be fair. Like, I know they can be a bit.
But the next four after us is, if, say for example, they do beat us, they might just fly through them next 4 games.
Yeah, if they beat us or even draw against us, that's enough to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, the one team that I find this is slightly comparable to is when Leicester won the league that year, and they just
100%.
The results kept going their way every week, and I'm not hinting at Forest winning the league, but no one's stopping it from happening.
Don't even think about it.
no one's stopping it from happening at the end of the day, and if they just carry on winning games, you never know at the end of the day. But in this time,
it is a bit like the Leicester situation, because last season they've always been like close to relegation, haven't they, or like just around mid-table.
Yeah.
Last season, weren't they like, I might be wrong, like 16th last season, and then 14th the one before that, and then the one before that they literally got promoted, didn't they?
And also, as well,
you're right. Yeah,
the prospect of Forest getting European football this season could genuinely kickstart a bit of a run of good form in the next couple of years for Forest, and
they could end up either being really good or just fall off like Leicester did.
Exactly, and
I mean, obviously they're still a decent team, but
the squad depth that
that season was magic.
The squad depth that Forest have as well is quite good. They've got a really big squad there, and the likes of Gibbs White, Chris Wood has been fantastic this season.
They rested every single player in their 2-0 win against Luton.
Oh yeah, that was today.
So their team's fully fresh for us, which is another thing as well. At home as well.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing you argue there is the likes of Liverpool have rested a lot of their first team.
True.
Alisson didn't play. Salah, Diaz, Gakpo. McAllister was on the bench, didn't play today.
Gravenberch, Jones,
Diaz,
Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson.
Exactly that.
Pretty much nearly our whole team. Like
the only few that did play today, who have a chance at starting against Forest, is Trent and Robertson, really. And then obviously Nunez and Jota and Szoboszlai. So there's only a handful really of Liverpool players. But do you favour a team where a few of the players have got football in the legs quite recently, and or do you fancy the team who's not played football in a week?
I favour Liverpool. I think that's because I'm a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, it's always going to be. you say it's not going to be biased, but realistically, when you're a fan, you're always trying to be optimistic for your own team.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I don't know. I just see a slim Liverpool win. I just see a slim Liverpool win.
Yeah,
like a tight game. It's not going to be an easy game.
No, definitely not. But
yeah.
Shall we go to our predictions then?
Yeah.
So.
Go on, Bailey starts off.
I'm gonna go with 2-1 Liverpool.
That's fair. That's fair.
Bloody tit, man. Take a mile.
Yeah, I was thinking.
That's like the best prediction.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna score. But
I'm gonna say
there will be goals. There will be goals.
Chris Wood will get a jammy header somewhere.
How many goals, Joe?
Salah will come in.
I don't know.
What are you thinking? How many goals?
Well, you've already taken the 2-1 prediction, and I can't say 1-0 because I just don't think it's going to be that boring of a game. I think I'm thinking maybe a draw, but then again, I always want to look on the optimistic side, especially when it comes to my club. So
yeah, and Liverpool are going to be out for revenge as well. You know, after losing.
I'm going to go with a highly entertaining game and say like 3-2.
3-2.
3-2 to Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool get their revenge, like Bailey's saying.
Right, I'm on the same page as you guys, so I'm going to go for 2-1, and then between 80 and 90, we're just going to seal it, but the scoreline of Liverpool 3, Forest 1, will not be how the game's actually gone, but I'm going to go 3-1.
Yeah, because that's happened a few times with Liverpool this season as well, where the scoreline doesn't necessarily, tell the whole story of the game, where it is a 3-1 game, but both sides had the chances. And the one game that does come to mind is when we played Leicester on Boxing Day, because obviously Leicester took the lead in that game, and it just took us a bit of a while to get that momentum. And it, you sort of think if Gakpo didn't get that goal on the stroke of half time, would the result have been the same?
Yeah. I was at that game. It was quite frustrating the first half.
Yeah.
So,
Shall we now that's over and done with, shall we quickly just go over a few of the results today in the FA Cup? Because there's one massive result, and that is Man City beat Salford 8-0.
Oh my!
You sort of look at that and you think, what's going on there?
8-0.
They are. Salford, they are a League 2 team, aren't they? And I'm not saying that League 2 teams don't come out with surprises sometimes and give these Championship Premier League teams a run for their money, but still,
when you click on the game on the football app, it shows you the wrong highlights. So underneath the City score, it shows you the Oxford versus Exeter highlights. Instead of
right.
when you click on the highlights of a game on a foot mob to look at the highlights of a game, it's got the complete wrong highlights. I don't know if you've got a foot mob, but it says Oxford versus Exeter and then James McAtee man of the match.
Yeah, he got a hat trick, I think. But what surprised me with that game is just how strong Man City decided to go, because they had the likes of they had Edison in there, and they had Ake, they had Savinho, Doku, Grealish.
Edison's their second choice now, though.
I know, yeah. They had what surprised me is they started Doku, Savinho.
A lot of them players are second choice. Yeah. Like O'Reilly, Simpson, McAtee, Gundogan, Nunes, Obama.
If you look at who came off the bench as well, though, there was no signs of academy players coming off the bench. It was Foden, Akanji, and Kovacic.
Yeah, true.
It's just like, did Pep...
Just goes to show how desperate City are right now.
Was
Pep... I guess they're just trying to get momentum with exactly. Players.
Yeah,
3 wins in a row though right now.
You sort of think
three decent results.
Was Pep desperate for a win by that kind of margin, just to prove to everyone that's what City can do? But it's Salford at the end of the day. It's not like
it doesn't really prove a lot, does it?
It doesn't prove
although it wasn't obviously a great scoreline.
And I think Pep will see that. If it was 8-0 in their away fixture against Brentford, then he would. Yeah. But he probably thinking the exact same as us. It's Pep. He won't.
I mean,
He wouldn't be thinking like that.
at the end of the game as well, he was desperate to get Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne on, but time ran out unfortunately at the end of the game because there was no added time. So they had the shirts on ready to come on for the last couple of minutes, but there was no added time. But you just sort of think, what do you just sort of think was Pep like?
You're 8-0 up against Salford, and you're trying to bring on De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva.
You're thinking, what are you doing, mate? You know.
I mean, to be fair, who else would they bring on their bench? Haaland, Lewis, De Bruyne, Silva, Gvardiol. Yeah. And then the three they brought on.
I mean, they played the majority of their regular starters at some point during that game. You know, I know they rested Haaland and De Bruyne in the end and Bernardo Silva, but other than that, you know, Savinho, Doku, Gundogan, Ake, they all Grealish as well got minutes. And you sort of think from Guardiola's point of view, do you think that was a game as an opportunity where they could get a bit of confidence after such a poor run of form?
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Yeah,
maybe.
Maybe just giving players like Grealish.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate him, but
yeah,
maybe
either, to be honest.
Just a bit of momentum.
Yeah, I think with the ego of like some of the City players, it may like this win, although it's not really that grand in the whole scheme of things, it'll still, I reckon, based off the ego of the City players, it'll probably still give them a bit of a boost. Like, oh yeah, I think got some momentum. I'm gonna start doing well again and go back to prime City. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A few of the other games that happened today, then Chelsea beat Morecambe 5-0. That explains itself, really, doesn't it? Bournemouth beat West Brom 5-1. You know, Bournemouth.
Did we speak about the Brentford one?
Yeah, we spoke about how, you know,
Yeah.
I mentioned it briefly about the fact that Liverpool go to Brentford next week. One that I do want to say.
Yeah, I remember that.
Leicester beat QPR 6-2. You know, struggling Leicester in the Premier League have gone to a Championship side in QPR, and they've come out with
that's refreshing for them.
You know,
that just shows how tough the Premier League is, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
that's it as well. But
I think it's really competitive these days. Like, there's a lot of good teams in the Prem that can perform.
But you know, for Leicester, there 5 different goal scorers on the score sheet. You sort of think that'll give a few of their players a bit of confidence to have a shot, you know, in the Premier League games. And you sort of think, you know, could this be a bit of a turnaround for Leicester? Could it put a bit of pressure on Everton, maybe? You know, in the league.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, Everton.
This second half of the season, I think, is definitely going to be quite.
I don't know. I don't think Everton look as bad.
No, well, they've just got David Moyes as well, haven't they? But I think the second half of the season is going to be definitely one to.
Well, David Moyes is going to be a bit like, this isn't the Everton I used to know.
I know, yeah. Well,
because when he was last there, he had all like the superstars and whatnot.
He's walking into a team of poor players, really, isn't he? But you know,
still though, he's a decent manager, so you never know.
I think the end of the season is definitely going to be quite interesting at the bottom of the table. It could be, you know, there's a few teams down there who you could toss a coin and decide who's going to get relegated. But I think 18th and 19th, I think them spots are still in a bit of jeopardy.
Yeah,
really. I think.
Yeah, well, everyone knows who's coming last.
Southampton are gone, aren't they? Realistically, but
yeah, they're going to stay 20th.
Right, Southampton's past 11 games has been 9 losses and 2 draws. Obviously, they're going down.
Yeah, they're finished.
It'd take a miracle.
Sorry, Southampton.
It'd take a miracle, but between 19th and 16th, there's only 3 points in it. You know, Everton are on 17 points, Wolves in 17th are on 16 points, same with Ipswich, and then Leicester are on 14 points. So there's 4 teams there who could all...
Yeah, it's looking close.
They could all well get relegated, so it's between...
What about Crystal Palace?
I think they're okay. For me, yeah. You know, I think which 2 of Leicester, Ipswich, Wolves and Everton would you say, at this point of the season, are going to be going down?
go first, Joe, or me?
I don't mind. I say you, Harry, because I've got to think on this one.
Okay. I mean, I think that is between Wolves, Ipswich, and Leicester. But what I would say is Wolves. I think Leicester will go down. I think it'll be between Ipswich and Wolves. I just don't think Rude has been as good as the new Wolves manager.
He's quite inexperienced as a manager, and he's been thrown into a Premier League side as well. You know, I think if Ruud van Nistelrooy didn't have that couple of weeks spell where he was standing manager at Man United, weren't he? But I think if that wasn't the case, he wouldn't have got the job at Leicester at all. You know, he was very inexperienced as a football manager, and I was quite surprised actually when Leicester appointed him. But I suppose, you know, Leicester are short on scoring goals at the minute, and they turn into one of Man United.
Yeah, they need like that kind of miracle, don't they? Or like that kind of big thing to get them excited.
You know,
even when things aren't looking their way.
For their manager to be a goal scorer who was quite prolific in his time at Man United, you know, I think that might. I don't know. It's hard to judge really, but I'm gonna say the two teams going. I'm saying the three teams that are in the relegation zone now: Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton are going to be relegated come the end of the season.
I think it'll be 20th Southampton, Leicester 19th, and I think Ipswich will do what Luton did last season. They'll fight. They'll play brilliantly for the level their team's at. But I just think Wolves will have enough. And Ipswich will do exactly what Luton.
Oh, it's pretty depressing, like.
Just shall we finish it off as well by predicting the top four?
Top four?
Yeah.
I mean, Joe, were you just going to say the same as us, or did you have
I don't know. I'm going to... like I say, I always like to think optimistically, and I always like to kind of root for the underdog in a way. It's a bit ironic because I support Liverpool, but still I've always got a soft spot for the underdog. So I'm just going to go with Southampton, unfortunately 20th. I'll see you later. I don't think Leicester have been playing too well. Like I say, with the manager, he's a bit inexperienced. So we're going to go Leicester 19th, and then I'm going to say Wolves 18th and Ipswich kind of pull it out of the bag for the second half of the season.
Bold statement.
I know it's bold, but I just... it's a bit depressing to see the three championship teams that came up go back down again.
Yeah.
It happens a lot, so I just want to
it happened last season,
give us an optimist. And plus, both your opinions of the predictions are the same.
Yeah,
so
I guess.
It's good to
I guess you are the guest. Yeah. You are the guest.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to have a different opinion.
All right.
So
who's going top four first?
I'll go. I'm gonna say it'll be Liverpool at the top of the league. I know that's optimistic, but I'm gonna say we're gonna win the league.
It's not even though, because you know we've been dominating pretty much. Although the last 3 games have been a bit rough, you know, we're still got a bit of momentum.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go with Arsenal second. I think City are gonna make a bit of a comeback and finish third, and then I think it'll be Chelsea then Newcastle. But they reckon it's gonna be 5 Champions League spots, don't they? Because of the way the.
I mean, you could go top 5 then. You could go top 5.
I think it's.
Wait, 5 Prem teams are going to go Champions League.
Yeah, because of the way the I don't know how it works particularly, but it's something to do with how well English teams are competing and stuff. There's the extra spot up for grabs. So
that's fair.
I do think though that
it makes the Prem interesting. So in a way,
I think Newcastle are gonna get. I think Newcastle are going to get Europa League, and then I think Bournemouth are going to get Conference League.
So what did you say again?
It could be Villa. Between Villa and Bournemouth are going to get Conference League, in my opinion. But I'm going to go with...
So, Bailey, you went...
I'm going to go Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea are the top 4. Then I'm going to go Forest in 5th, Newcastle 6th, and then it's between Bournemouth and Villa who gets Conference League.
Not bad.
in my opinion.
I'll go, just because of the first half of the season they've had, I'll go Liverpool first. Second and third is Arsenal and City. I can see City getting most of their players back, and I feel like Arsenal. I've just got that feeling that Arsenal are going to have some more injuries, so I'm going to go City second, Arsenal third. Not a lot in that at all. And then fourth, I'm going to put Newcastle. Fifth, I'll go Chelsea. Sixth, I'll go Villa. And then seventh, I am going to put... Seventh's a difficult one because you have so many teams. There's Bournemouth, Fulham, Brighton. Seventh, I'll go Forest. I think Forest will fall down.
I think Forest are going to... Well, I don't know about that, but first.
Yeah. So my top seven was Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, Villa, Forest.
Yeah. All right then, guys. Shall we wrap it up there then?
I didn't even get my prediction.
Oh, did you not?
Yeah, Bailey, you've done that twice now. I had to save you on the last one.
This is not how you treat your guests, all right?
Go on then, Joe. Hurry up.
I had to save you on the last one, mate.
Right, all right. Liverpool first. Just so I want to be optimistic, and plus we've been playing amazing. No one can deny that.
Optimistic with Liverpool first.
That's what it's not, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Harry.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Second, we're going to go with Nottingham Forest. I think they're going to do really well and carry on smashing it throughout the season. I kind of believe in them. I think there's going to be a bit of Premier League magic. Third, I think we'll go with Chelsea. They've been looking really good, and I feel like they've still got
Forest and Chelsea over Arsenal and City.
Arsenal or City fifth. That's a difficult one.
Arsenal fifth.
Because I don't like City, but this is just biased now, right?
Okay.
Arsenal fourth because of the consistency.
Because of
they've been doing pretty well. Arsenal fourth, City fifth. Newcastle sixth, Europa League. Seventh, we'll go with Bournemouth because they've been pretty special this season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad prediction. You know. All right. I think after we've got all of our predictions away, did you enjoy today's show, Joe?
Other than Bailey trying to cut out my... No, I'm joking. Yeah, it was cool.
No. We enjoyed having you on.
Yeah, we definitely
appreciate that
for the future.
Definitely have you back in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah. When we have face cams and watch-alongs and all the stuff we're doing in the future, you'll definitely be involved.
Big things coming, guys. Serious.
Big things
moves.
coming, guys. Big things.
Yeah.
Serious moves.
Serious moves. They're making moves in silence, guys. Honestly.
Okay.
Make it in silence. No, I'm joking. Right. These guys have got it under control.
Yeah.
I believe in them.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who tuned in to the Switch It podcast series. Please like and subscribe and drop a comment to help us improve future videos, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes from us. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, and goodbye for now.